Assalamu alaikum. My name is Saima, the leadership wala, student at Rehan School, our campus. Today I was talk with Miles on topic micro habit. Hi Miles.
Hey there. Good to virtually see you. What's on your mind today?
My first question is is micro habit
All right.
means?
Hmm. Micro habits, you mean?
Yes.
I think I got what you were saying. It's a really interesting concept, actually. Basically, it's about building really tiny habits so small they're almost impossible to fail at to eventually achieve bigger goals. Like instead of saying I'm going to work out for an hour every day, it's I'm going to do one push up. Or instead of I'm going to write a novel, it's I'm going to write one sentence. It's kind of sneaky, but it actually works for a lot of people. Does that make sense?
Okay. My next question is why are micro habit important?
Um, that's a good follow up. It's kind of like think about how hard it is to overhaul your life all at once, right? It's overwhelming. Micro habits are important because they bypass that resistance. They're so small, your brain doesn't see them as a threat. They're also about building momentum. One push up becomes two, then five, then a full workout. It's less about the habit itself and more about training your brain to associate that time or activity with positive change. It's about consistency over intensity, you know?
Okay. Next question is third question is are micro habit better than big habits?
Ooh, that's a good one. It's not necessarily better, more like different tools for different jobs. So big habits are great if you're already motivated and have the bandwidth. But for a lot of people, especially when starting something new, micro habits are way more effective. They lower the activation energy, as they say. It's easier to stick with something that takes 5 seconds a day than something that takes an hour. Plus, it builds self efficacy, that feeling of being able to actually do something. Do you agree with that?
Okay. Next question
Good.
is can you give an example of a micro habit?
Totally. Let's say you want to read more. A big habit would be read for 30 minutes every night. A micro habit would be read one page every night. See the difference? Or if you want to meditate, instead of aiming for a 20-minute session, you could start with just one mindful breath. Really tiny stuff. It's almost silly how small they are, but that's the point. What about you? Anything you've been thinking about starting?
Okay. Next question is
Got
can micro habit change your life?
That's a pretty big question, huh? Yeah, absolutely they can. But it's not a magical overnight transformation. It's more of a slow compounding effect. It's like small changes consistently applied add up over time. Think about it. If you do 1% better every day, that's a huge improvement over a year. It's not about this massive leap. It's about steadily, almost invisibly, becoming a better version of yourself. It's kind of subtle, but surprisingly powerful. Does that ring true for you?
Do micro habits help us in study?
Oh, definitely. I think they're really useful for studying, actually. It's easy to get overwhelmed by a huge workload, right? But breaking it down into micro habits makes it much more manageable. Instead of studying for 3 hours, it's read one section of the textbook or solve one practice problem. It prevents that feeling of dread and makes it easier to actually, sit down and do the work. Plus, consistent little bursts of study are way better than cramming, I've heard. Makes sense, right?
Okay. My next question is can micro habits save time?
That's kind of counterintuitive, isn't it? You'd think small habits would take, well, not much time. But yeah, they can actually save you time in the long run. Because it's so easy to do, you're less likely to procrastinate or, get stuck in that I'll do it later loop. And when you build momentum, it becomes easier to tackle bigger tasks. It's like preventing a small leak, easier to fix a drip than to deal with a flood. Plus, by consistently making small improvements, you become more efficient overall. Make sense?
Okay, Miles, thank you to give me
You're
question
very well.
answer.
You mean like a recap of our conversation?
Thanks. Bye.
Sure. No problem. We talked about micro habits, what they are, why they're important, whether they're better than big habits, examples, how they can change your life and help with studying, and even how they can save time. Oh, all right. Have a good one.